The story of Tomijiro Shimotori, the man who became a god of water. Uwae Yosui Canal, along with Niigata Joetsu Canal, is an important agriculture water supply system for the Takata Plains. Thanks to the rich funds of the Takata provincial government, the Niigata water system was completed in a mere 4 years. On the other hand, the Uwae water system was constructed bit by bit using the farmers' own funds and labor. It took some 130 years to finish construction of the canal. The construction of the Uwae irrigation canal was completed in 3 stages. Tomijiro Shimotori was active during the 3rd stage. Tomijiro was honored as a daimyojin, a water god, at Uwae Hokushin Shrine in the Kawaura district of the Sanwa ward in Joetsu City, and even today he is respected there. And so we begin the story of Tomijiro Shimotori. Long, long ago, during the Genroku period, 1688 to 1704, there were many droughts. The rice fields dried up, wells went dry, and the people faced many hardships without water. The farmers could be heard around the village saying, "We don't like this lifestyle. We want to move away from here." Word from the villagers came to one of the village leaders, Gensuke Shimotori, Tomijiro's grandfather, in the village of Kawaura, now part of the Sanwa ward in Joetsu City. He thought long and hard about the problem, and he was sad. If there is no rain, we can't grow rice. With no rice, the life of the farmers will get harder and harder. He wondered if there was anything that could be done. "I know," he thought. "If we dig a canal from Seki River, we can use river water and grow rice even if it doesn't rain." He started to make a plan. In the Genroku era, 1695, Gensuke went to the Kawaura government offices with farmers of the 64 villages suffering from drought. They went to ask for assistance in building a canal. Unfortunately, the other farmers who were using the water from Seki River fought against Gensuke's plan, and it was ignored. 10 years later, in the 2nd year of the Uwae era, 1705, he again went to the government to ask for support for his plan. Again, he was refused, and Gensuke passed away without seeing his dream realized. Following the dying wish of his father, Gen-emon, Tomijiro's father, continued to entreat the government officials to build a canal during the Kyoho years, 1716 to 1736. Like his father, he was opposed, and his plan was denied. Finally, without reaching his goal, Gen-emon passed away from illness. Tomijiro, growing up in such a family, was full of sadness seeing that his grandfather and father could never achieve their dream. "I will continue the wishes of my ancestors and reach our goal," he promised himself. He began to study with all of his might. In the 8th year of Meiwa, 1771, a severe drought hit the entire Takata plain. Both irrigation and well water were completely used up. The people had to travel long distances just to receive water to barely stay alive. Giant cracks appeared in the dried out rice fields, and not a grain of rice could be produced. In these terrible conditions, Tomijiro went again to the Kawaura government to ask them to build an irrigation canal. Once again, like his father and grandfather before him, his request was denied. Tomijiro was finally determined. I have no choice. I'll use my own money to build an irrigation canal to save the village from this disaster. He stood up to get to work, but farmers in other villages who knew his plan were against it. If he does that, we'll lose our water. We've got to fight this plan with everything we've got. Soon they delivered their opposition declaration to the Edo magistrate. In March of Meiwa 9, 1772, Tomijiro heard of this and was in great sadness as he made the journey to the Edo court by himself. As a result of these efforts, all of the farmers involved in the dispute were called to the government offices to reach an agreement. However, no resolution was reached, and the discussions went on and on, again and again. Finally, Tomijiro's side lost their battle, and the fight was over. Tomijiro was terribly disappointed, but he was able to regain his motivation. There has to be a way to get permission to dig the canals, he thought, and set off back to Edo. On the way to Edo, as Tomijiro was resting his tired body at an inn, he saw what could have been either a dream or reality. A child appeared to him. The child said, "You will never win, no matter how hard you try, if you keep using the same approach. It is better to make a request to build a canal from Naina Falls in the rear valley of Mount Myoko." The child so spoke and then disappeared. After hearing this, Tomijiro thought, "These must be the words of Hokushin Daimyojin, who I worship every day." And he immediately reworked his plan. With his new plan, Tomijiro went to the Kawaura government as well as the Edo shogunate many times to make his presentation. Finally, in March of the second year of An-e, 1773, an official arrived from Edo. The land was surveyed, and arguments both for and against the digging of the canal were heard. In An-e 4, 1775, after measuring the volume of water for the canal, in April the answer came from the shogunate. Digging may commence for a 3-year trial period. However, the permission came with strict conditions. Construction fees must come from the villages that will use the water. Also, if those who opposed the canal have a water shortage, the canal must be filled in to its original state. Tomijiro was put in charge of construction. The construction of the canal was said to be one of the most difficult in the whole country, and included a 633-meter water tunnel dug below the Kushi-ike River, known as the Sanjo Moat. Great numbers of villagers worked themselves almost to death working on the project together. As the canal project was so expensive, Tomijiro sold his rice fields, further cut back his personal expenses, and paid for the construction himself. In An-e Year 6, 1777, in spite of facing opposition and many other difficulties, construction of the Uwae Irrigation Canal was completed. It had been almost 90 years since grandfather Gensuke first made his plan to dig the Uwae Irrigation Canal. Thanks to the completion of the canal, many villages were saved from water shortages, and the villagers gave thanks to Tomijiro. This huge construction project was well respected, and Tomijiro received silver as well as an honorific name, and he became a samurai lord. Viewing the rice fields filled with abundant water, Tomijiro passed away in November in the 11th year of Bunka, 1814. He was 70 years old. Thanks to his daily worship at Hakushin Daimyojin in Kawaura Sanwa Ward, Joetsu City, Tomijiro was able to complete the construction of the Uwae Irrigation Canal. Sometime after his death, in April of the 3rd year of Bunsei, 1820, Tomijiro was enshrined as a god of water at Uwae Hokushin Shrine. Even today, he is respected, and his story is passed down by the local people of the region. The end.